Treasury and Defense are considered the big three when it comes to cabinet jobs. Well, we know that Wall Street veteran Steve Mnuchin, you see his picture here, he's President-elect Trump's choice for Treasury Secretary. Democrats promise a big fight.
He's just put a Wall Streeter in charge of the Treasury, and not just a random one, a guy who actually helped package all of those toxic mortgages, a guy who bought a bank that made its fortune by squeezing people hard on foreclosure.
We also know that retired Marine General James Mattis will officially be announced tomorrow as Mr. Trump's choice for Defense Secretary. And by week's end, we are told we will know much more, including most likely the pick for Secretary of State. And in that conversation, part of the issue is whether Donald Trump-Mitt Romney relationship takes another dramatic turn. Remember back in the campaign? In March, Mitt Romney, the 2012 Republican nominee, announcing he was a never-Trumper.
Think of Donald Trump's personal qualities: the bullying, the greed, the showing off, the misogyny, the absurd third-grade theatrics.
Now, remember the date there, March 3rd. Mitt Romney gave that speech. Donald Trump, same day, responds.
Mitt did a big joke. Mitt is a failed candidate. He failed. He failed horribly. He let us down. Mitt ran, probably it was the worst run that most people have seen. He doesn't have what it takes to be president.
Throughout the campaign, though, Mr. Romney held firm. Remember the Access Hollywood tape? Mitt Romney saying that convinced him even more so. No way, can't vote for Donald Trump.
Presidents have an impact on the nature of our nation, and trickle-down racism, trickle-down bigotry, trickle-down misogyny, all these things are extraordinarily dangerous to the heart and character of America.
But since the election, Mitt Romney has had dinner with Donald Trump, had meetings with Donald Trump. He's had a phone conversation with Donald Trump. He's under consideration for Secretary of State. Mitt Romney says everything he has seen from the president-elect since the election, impressive.
I've had a wonderful evening with President-elect Trump. These discussions I've had with him have been enlightening and interesting and engaging. I've enjoyed them very much.
Is it conceivable that this will happen this week, or is the fact that it hasn't happened by now tell you that at least Donald Trump was not wowed? And General David Petraeus is on another Sunday show this morning, and a lot of people are saying that in some ways could be an audition of sorts for him.
I've started to hear over the last couple of days that Trump is moving away both from Romney and Giuliani, who was another early frontrunner. Doesn't mean that it won't eventually be them. Things change very quickly in Trump's orbit, but the push and pull between the two of them has created a lot of room for another option, Petraeus being one of them. But I think that you're going to see other names in the next couple of days that are going to be out there. Again, it may eventually be Romney or Giuliani, but the fact that it hasn't happened yet has really opened up this process much more than we thought.
More under consideration than most people.
Bob Corker, the senator from Tennessee, chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee.
And he would be more of a consensus pick, someone who could be confirmed and also be acceptable to Democrats.
I'm told by a source close to the president-elect that they are moving back to square one of sorts on the Secretary of State, to echo Julie's reporting, that they are trying to figure out where exactly to go, and the idea that it's sort of narrowed down to one or two people is not the case. It's striking to see Romney say what he did at Trump Tower. I mean, nobody was more impassioned and really, I think, more heartfelt. I think Romney was truly offended by Trump.
Right.
And now to see him, it's sort of this combination of equal parts laudable patriotism. He wants to serve his country. I think he really is a patriot. But it's also sort of this lifelong ambition that Romney has. He just wants it so bad, and he just can't hide it there at all, you know.
It has been fierce, and a quick point to correct. I made the interview with Wolf Blitzer there where Romney talked about the trickle-down misogyny. That was before the Access Hollywood tape. He continued to stay there. He continued to stay in that position after that tape came out. But what has been interesting is Romney's transformation, number one, saying how impressed I am and I want to serve, but also the open campaigning from Trump loyalists, Kellyanne Conway publicly, and listen to Newt Gingrich here in the Laura Ingraham show, not just saying he doesn't think Romney's good for the job, but essentially trashing the guy.
You have never, ever in your career seen a serious adult who's wealthy, independent, has been a presidential nominee, suck up at the rate that Mitt Romney is sucking up. I mean, I am confident that he thinks now that Donald Trump is one of his closest friends, but they have so many things in common, that they're both such wise, brilliant people. And I'm sure last night at an elegant 3-star restaurant in New York that Mitt was fully at home, happy to share his vision of populism, which involved a little foie gras, a certain amount of superb cooking, but was done in a populist, happy manner.
Newt with the mic drop.
I mean, he mentioned everything.
Wow.
I'm not exactly.
frog
I'm
legs.
still a little confused about it.
He mentioned everything but frog legs there, which they also had at dinner. But look, a lot of resentment between Newt Gingrich, we have to point this out, and Mitt Romney stems back to December of 2011 in Iowa when the Romney campaign unleashed just a barrage on Trump, or on Newt. He's never gotten over it. But the question here is, as Jonathan and Julie and you guys said before, the fact that this has taken so long, Trump clearly is hearing all the criticism. The Romney people, I'm told, simply don't know. And it makes a lot of people who love Mitt Romney very uncomfortable to see him out there in this position. But he would still take the job because he thinks he can, soften Trump for the world.